mean, it ain't nothing to if you don't know, you don't know. Acknowledge your ignorance. That's one thing that I've learned in business, if nothing else, is that you have to understand when you have a specific shortcoming, and you have to plan accordingly for that. So when I know that, hey, creatively, I got my shortcomings there, like with the art perspective. We joke about this shitty sketch that I have of Isom Soup, right? Because my eye, that's not where it's at. So we bring people in that do come from that perspective. Like recently, Kane and White. We have Igor here. That's what they're here to do. They're
I
here to
gotta,
look at that stuff.
I really gotta commend you for that. You see, I'm a firm believer in being the weakest link in the chain, and I know if I'm the weakest link, then it's a pretty strong chain. And surrounding yourself with people that have expertise. But some people would argue that if someone is on your payroll, that they're not going to push back effectively when it needs to happen. And certainly that can be the case. I pastored for a number of years, and so I not only ran not only was I in charge of a staff, but a staff of volunteers on top of it. And so that certainly can be the case, but I know it comes down to the culture. So how do you create a culture that says, "Hey, we can tell Eric that maybe he doesn't know anything about this one, and let me
Well,
do
and
it."
trust them. That's where the micromanaging gets you in trouble, right? You got to trust them when they're entrusted to make difficult decisions. Then, in my experience, and it's always been this way, they will make the right decision, and like I allow them to disagree. Like there's no, hey, you don't Eric had a decision that he was leaning towards, and we did something opposite. Nobody's getting destroyed because of that. That's just not why. Again, why do I have you in the position if that's the case?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'd argue that you're going to get the most valuable information from those types of people, right? There's people that, for example, when Chuck's talked about like Isom, the story, and he's commended it before, and then there'll be people that'll be like, well, that's different because Chuck's being paid. You don't know Chuck Dixon. If you think
And it
that
does come
his
across.
opinion on something like that can be bought and paid for, you have no idea who this man is. You have no idea who he is. And that's I would argue an insult to him and all of what he's accomplished. He's one of the few guys that are in this position that can call their own fucking shots. If Chuck Dixon wanted to tell me to fuck off, he could do that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what it is that he could do. So for me, it's about putting people in positions to succeed, trusting them, empowering them, more importantly, and you're going to get the best version of that person. And that's what I believe why this works the way that it does is because no people. First of all, this is a fun job for everybody here. They love being here. I got to tell people not to work, especially on weekends. Well, a lot of my creative guys are back office guys.